Thank you everyone in the room and everyone watching online for joining me for the proudest day of my life, the day where I joined the greatest football club in the history of the game. So thank you very much, and finally, Real Madrid.
Bellingham, shots!
Clearly, one of the best players in the world, Jude Bellingham. He's lit up La Liga since his arrival to Los Blancos. Deployed previously as a midfielder at Dortmund, and it's safe to say we were impressed at that point. Little did we know that Ancelotti was going to start playing him further up the pitch. And since his debut with the new club, a couple injuries, the loss of Karim Benzema, Jude Bellingham has played behind the likes of Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo. This experiment, it's worked out. This season, he has the most goals for any Real Madrid player after 15 games, even beating Cristiano Ronaldo's tally when he made the transfer to Madrid from Manchester United. He has captivated the Madrid faithful. The combination of passion, drive, composure, maturity, understanding, timing, athleticism, ability, sheer talent. Not only is he on his way, but we could be witnessing the next Real Madrid icon. In fact, due to his versatility, I'd happily go on record. I would argue he's the most valuable player on the pitch across multiple positions. However, he isn't the first of his kind. There's another midfielder that donned the white kits of Real Madrid and carried the side to both domestic and European dominance. This is the story of the original Jude Bellingham. Let's throw it back some years. Jose Martinez Sanchez. If that's not a Spanish name, I don't know what is. But more affectionately known as Pirri. Was born on March 11th, 1945 in Ceuta, Spain. Pirri becomes synonymous when we think of success, excellence, loyalty at the club, and versatility. At just 19 years old, Pirri joins Los Blancos, making his debut for the first team in 1964. A key to succeeding at one of the largest clubs in the world is your mental toughness and preparation. Something both Pirri and Jude Bellingham have shown from an early age. Beyond proficient, unprecedented, even more so when you think of their age. Take that into consideration. Looking like veterans from the rip. A natural leader, Pirri captained Real Madrid throughout the 1970s. One of the most dominant periods of the club's illustrious history. A display of his mentality would be a constant in big matchups. All eyes, all pressure, the weight is on your shoulders. 1971, Real Madrid played in the European Cup Winners' Cup. Glad that we've worked out a bit of a rebrand. Pirri soldiers on with his arm in a sling after breaking it in the match. Could you imagine that present day? No chance. We talk about the old greats and the physicality, what they played through, the mentality, playing for the badge, the impact, everything on the line. Modern football, and as progressive as it's been, it's difficult to compare between the two. We can talk about ability and technical application and research development, the sheer nature, kill or be killed, that level of intensity, willing to do whatever it takes. I'm not sure that exists as much in today's current game. If anything, a lot of the players come off a bit entitled. Let's continue. 1974 in the Copa del Rey final. Pirri played despite having a fever and a broken jaw. The point that I'm making, he would do whatever is necessary in order to win a match. And while we won't be seeing Bellingham in a sling anytime soon, they do share in that mentality, that do or die attitude. And it's by far not a one-to-one comparison. But recently we saw Jude Bellingham play through a shoulder injury. Might not be the broken jaw or the broken arm, but times are also a little bit different. I believe the comparison drives deeper between these players. These are leadership qualities you just can't teach. And under the most amount of pressure possible. Were our eyes not wide open when Jude Bellingham went to Real Madrid? Was that not the biggest transfer throughout the window? Were our expectations not on the up and up, and he still over-delivered. Despite being a midfielder, Pirri's output was sensational. Over a 15-year career spanning 561 matches, Pirri was able to score 172 goals, making him the 9th highest goal scorer, just behind the likes of Hugo Sanchez or Puskas. Not bad for a midfielder. And the talent pool at Real Madrid, can we talk about it for a moment? The top 3 are fortifiable icons. Many would argue Cristiano Ronaldo, who holds that top placement, greatest player of all time, or at least in that discussion. He should make every single person's top 5 footballers of choice. Also had that killer instinct. Karim the Dream Benzema, who I believe is perhaps the most underrated attacker or striker or true number 9 that we've seen in the last 20, 30 years. Mainly because he was overshadowed in some ways playing alongside Cristiano Ronaldo, who got the headlines. But Benzema was there. Big moments, not an issue, not a concern. And I'm not saying people won't give him his due or that he's not respected and he's not talked about with the creme de la creme. I just believe to a certain degree that Karim Benzema might not have been fully appreciated for some of his prime years alongside Cristiano. And then Raul, one of my favorite players of all time. Magical. Even some of the record books for Pirri, they class him as a defender, just behind Koeman and Sergio Ramos, who, on a side note, and this is a ridiculous statistic for a defender that always played as a defender, Ramos has over 100 goals across all competitions for Real Madrid. That is ridiculous. Not to mention how important some of those goals were. Not to take this too far on a tangent, but I struggle to not think of Ramos being one of the greatest defenders of all time. Played as a fullback, a center back, might have had a bit of a reputation for some unruly tackles or professional fouls, but his impact, his ability, offensively, defensively, it's remarkable. And the consistency and continuity throughout his career. How can you deny the man? What are your statistics that you're measuring? And he's still playing to this day. And I'm also happy that he took his talents back to Sevilla. Let us build. Pirri thrived in a team coined, a generation of Spanish talent that dominated Spanish football in the 60s. The term comes from a Beatles song. A classic, a tune, if you will. She loves you, yeah. Pirri went on to win 10 La Liga titles, including a period of winning 5 consecutively. He could score all kinds of goals, with many coming with delayed runs and getting on the end of a cross, finding your timing, aligning at the perfect moments. Does it remind you of anyone? Later in his career, he would drop deeper and deeper, even at one point playing as a center back, towards the twilight of his career. What is remarkable and has been a theme is his versatility. He covered every position from front to back with the highest levels of proficiency. 15 years Pirri spent at Real Madrid. And that's what's kept him in such high regard with the fans of the organization. It's historic. Longevity at its finest. He had a long career at Madrid before spending a year in Mexico and then retiring at the age of 37. But he wasn't finished with the club. Not just yet. Pirri trained to be a member of their medical staff before becoming the general manager for a brief spell. From former professional athlete to medical staff to general manager. I'm not sure it would go exactly like that in present day. Maybe, maybe not. We've seen crazier things. He lived and breathed Real Madrid. And his commitment was recognized as he was awarded last July an honorary club president position at Real Madrid. A player with commitment and quality. There's now a new player showcasing similar capabilities in 2024. And Pirri himself had this to say about Jude Bellingham. As a person, he's a fantastic boy. Educated with a winning personality, a great teammate. He became very integrated in football with tremendous leadership, hardworking, and a very good vision of the game. It's great to watch him play because of his football and his dedication. I haven't seen someone so perfect in quite a while. From the past number 5 to the present, the future is bright for the capital city of Madrid. Fresh on the back of a Golden Boy win, Jude is going from strength to strength, and it's kind of frightening considering he's only 21 years old. This story may be intertwined with the early success and the comparable features of Jude Bellingham and Pirri. But also, when I look at the newer age of football, the current fans, I believe Pirri is a man that for many has been forgotten, or at least he's not brought into enough current conversations. From such a unique talent that was blessed with footballing ability, how players even speak of Pirri, from his influence, his impact, his legacy. That seems like the right place to leave off. Legacy.